Am I the asshole for refusing to host my husband's best friend and his family?
My husband has a childhood friend, both the same age.
This friend had his wedding during COVID in 2020.
Strict measures, you know the drill.
At that time, we were living abroad, so crossing borders was nearly impossible. When he got the invite, we had only been together for a few months, so it was a fresh relationship. They invited him alone. I was working in a COVID ward and managed to get him across the border as a worker in a private car, about an 8-hour journey, and I also got him a PCR test 2 hours before departure. I mention this because the whole arrangement wasn't easy. He attended the wedding with a gift, stayed with his parents, wedding was nearby. 4 years later, we were getting married in Chateau, about 4 hours from both my family and his, so halfway, and invited the friend along with his wife and child. They said they'd come and make a trip out of it, exploring the area. He was the only friend for whom we paid accommodation right at the venue, just like for family, 5 hotel. I was already struggling with this, as we had agreed not to cover accommodation for friends. It's also worth noting that this friend is a teacher and the wedding was on a Saturday, a week before the end of the school year. A few days before the wedding, they called to say they wouldn't come because he didn't get leave for Monday and it wasn't worth the trip for just a few days. We ended up paying for the room since it was too late to cancel. We didn't receive a gift or even a congratulatory card from them. Today, they wrote saying they want to visit because they're going to an event in our city and would appreciate accommodation for them and his sister. I'm against it because I don't see a reason to take leave, pick them up from the train station, and host them when I don't view them as friends anymore. No contact throughout the year, no birthday or name day wishes. My husband disagrees, saying it's his best friend and I'm preventing him from seeing him. Am I the asshole? Surely your husband can see his friend without you having to host him? Not the asshole. But sometimes it is hard to see when old friends are letting us down and using us.
And tell them unfortunately your house is unavailable to stay at. However, hubby would love to catch up for a meal while they're here somewhere out. Be interesting to see if he's worth their money to spend a meal with or they're just using him for the convenience of where you live.
Not the asshole. Your husband can see him,
but that doesn't mean that you have to host all of them.
They want to visit because they're going to an event in our city.
They don't want to see you or your husband. They want free accommodation, preferably with transfers.
Not the asshole.
They aren't coming to visit you and your husband. They just want to use your home as a free Airbnb.
Unfortunately, we're unable to host you at that time due to other commitments. We'd love to meet up for dinner one evening to catch up, though, if possible.
Can you let us know what days you'd available?
Tell your husband that he can host.
He does the pre-visit cleaning, bed making, shopping, any cooking. Make sure there is a little breakfast each day, all the work. Your only responsibility is to be charming and friendly. When they leave, your husband strips the beds, washes the bedding and towels, remakes the beds and puts the house into pre-visit order.
See how eager he is to host then.
Tell him that you understand his friendship and need to accommodate for them. But say you don't have that sort of friendship with them, where they book the invite, where y'all are paying, and then cancel it because it's not worth it and then suddenly have some other event they want to go to, and want to confirm the stay, because their event is worth more than your wedding where they aren't paying a penny. Tell him you understand that he don't mind spending money for friendship, where they had no greet or wishers for years on any days, but that's not your style of friendship. And you won't be playing host, taking extra time for them, but you will not stop him from spending time with them and playing host to them by himself.
Am I the asshole for leaving my smashed cake on the ground? So today after work, I, F16, was preparing a cake for my, F12, sister. I spent hours preparing everything. The color was perfect, red velvet. The texture was soft and nicely risen. Sadly, my mom walked in and while in a rush to tidy the kitchen. Side note, she's constantly frantically tidying. My family speculates she has OCD. I have a similar feeling. I don't think OCD, but it's more related to germs than tidiness. When she's sorting the fridge out, she accidentally dropped my cake on floor. I froze, kind of waiting for her reaction, as in that moment it determined mine in a way. I hoped maybe she'd say sorry or something. Instead she started shouting about how I'm stupid and careless, and called my other 3 siblings stupid. I have no idea why. I kind of lost it, and ran to the bathroom to cry. It's so dumb and childish. I haven't done that in years lol, but it felt good.
While I was there, my mum continued shouting from the kitchen. When my two older siblings went to try and explain to her a different perspective, she said it was my fault for causing her to make the mistake. When pressed harder, she yelled, "So is this my fault?" And I felt guilty here because her voice cracked slightly with some emotion.
And then she was shouting her I'm lucky it was her who made the mistake cause anyone else would have left the mess.
I know she'll never apologize, and sadly that's all I wanted so bad. But she's never said sorry to me my whole 16 years of life.
I feel like the asshole for just abandoning the situation and leaving my cake. She was gonna go to her room to sleep but had to tidy up by herself instead. Maybe that's why she was more angry. Am I the asshole for leaving my dropped cake on the floor? Your post has brought flashbacks of my own childhood. My father was 100% like this. I just remembered something that happened when I was 16 and I know you will relate.
Someone had gifted me a really cute umbrella that had pictures of something I was into printed on the outside. My father grabbed it to use to get the mail and he shoved it too hard and it flipped inside out and
he then started screaming at me that this was my fault for buying a cheaply made umbrella and he hoped I was happy that he got wet. Okay. Not the asshole and you will survive. I ended up gray rocking my father, which was incredibly helpful. If you have time, I suggest you Google that and the techniques that come with it.
Not the asshole. It sounds like you did the right thing by removing yourself from the situation. And it's okay to cry after that kind of reaction, especially when you worked so hard to make that cake for your sister.
Not the asshole. It's 100% her fault. She owes you a replacement cake. Not the asshole. She sounds exhausting most days and the way she behaved about the cake was verbally abusive. Fortunately, shitty parenting lets you off the hook for dealing with her once you are independent. Not the asshole. Your mom has some real mucked up issues. Hang in there and move away when you can.
It is not normal to scream at others when you make a mistake, certainly not okay to scream at your kid after ruining their work.
Hell no, you're not the asshole.
Your mom can't tell you it was your fault when she's the one who dropped the cake, and if she's never said sorry to you ever, she needs help.
Am I the asshole for choosing my career over my brother's kids?
For context, I, 28F, have a brother, 25M, and he and his wife, 25F, had twin boys about a year ago. The twins were unexpected, but even so, I would say they transitioned relatively smoothly into parenthood. My brother and his wife were both able to take time away from work to raise the twins. While my sister-in-law was able to stay home, my brother had to return to work since they weren't expecting two babies. This and the fact that my sister-in-law wasn't working led to her eventually going back to work early as well, which left them the issue of childcare. My brother and sister-in-law both work hard and money was really tight for them, so they asked if I could take care of the babies a few days per week so they could cut down on costs. I am fortunate enough to work from home most days and live alone, so I agreed because it felt like it was something I could do for them and bond with the babies. We have had this arrangement going on since my brother and sister-in-law returned to work, and it was fine at first.
Work was relatively slow and I was happy to spend time with my nephews.
However, taking care of them has created a strain not only on myself but my bank account as well, since they are growing. My brother and sister-in-law often work late, meaning I am feeding them dinner and taking care of them well into the evening. I haven't put up much of a fuss and I haven't been charging them because of their financial situation. However, work has progressively been getting more busy and has started to take more attention from me. I was also recently offered a higher position in the company, but it would require me to work fully in person. Today, while I was with my brother, I told him about my promotion and that I would not be able to take care of the twins anymore. He freaked out and called me a terrible sister, saying that I was abandoning my family. I wasn't really able to explain myself further because he left in a hurry, all angry. A couple hours ago, I received some really nasty messages from my sister-in-law and my parents, saying that I am extremely selfish, disgusting and shameful for choosing work over family. My parents aren't able to help, as they live on the other side of the country and are not mobile. I know if I stop helping with childcare, my brother's family will suffer, so now I'm rethinking my decision. Not the asshole one bit. Dot and I haven't been charging them because of their financial situation. So you did this for free out of goodwill and wanting to help. And it also cost you money. And to your own growing detriment.
Then you got a life-enhancing opportunity with your promotion. Congratulations.
I received some really nasty messages from my sister-in-law and my parents, saying that I am extremely selfish, disgusting and shameful for choosing work over family. Yet both the parents have done that.
And shown who they really are.
My parents aren't able to help, as they live on the other side of the country and are not mobile.
It's easy to look on from the sidelines and expect others to give up opportunities. Please don't rethink.
Do what's right for you.
Please don't. He's incredibly selfish and ungrateful.
He's had free childcare and expected you to give up your life and dreams and future for his children. Those kids have two parents who decided to bring them into this world and are responsible for them.
Not you. You've done them an enormous favor and they have decided to berate you and call you names. I'm disgusted with them. Please don't give up your promotion. Please don't let them browbeat you into being their slave labor. Not the asshole.
Well, the parents have chosen work over family. Oh, wait, work is needed to provide for themselves?
No, you are not responsible for providing free childcare.
Your brother and sister-in-law are acting like entitled Oz and you can freely stop responding to them. You have a paying job, and a life, and they can sort their own shit out.
Not the asshole. Not the asshole.
Your free childcare is subsidizing their lifestyle, and they'll continue to take advantage of you as long as you let them. Stop letting them take advantage of you.
Not the asshole.
You shouldn't be expected to hold yourself back in your career because your brother and his wife had kids they can't afford.
The entitled is unbelievable. They're the asshole, not you. Not the asshole. You absolutely should not and cannot sacrifice your career to take care of someone else's children. You've done far too much already in actually having them for so much time and absorbing the extra costs. You tell them that as of X date, you will no longer be available to provide childcare and make sure you leave earlier than expected to go into work for the first week or two in case they try to dump them on you. The fact that they are complaining when they should be blessing and thanking you for the major help is a red flag. They sound ungrateful and awful. Am I the asshole for cooking my brother's strawberry without permission?
So I have a brother, 29M, who loves buying foods that will leave to rot in the fridge. Last week, he bought a bag of fresh strawberries, and went on a work-related trip the day after. Last night, I was feeling down, and I opened the fridge, and saw the strawberries. No one likes fresh strawberry in my family, so no one bothered to eat it.
I checked it and noticed that some are going bad. Since my brother loves to let his food rots, I decided to make a strawberry cheesecake out of it. I picked strawberries that are still in good condition, while removed the bad parts. Then, I turned them to jam and put them as a topping to the cheesecake. My brother returned home this morning, and noticed the strawberry cheesecake. He loved it, but realized his strawberry is missing. When I told him that's the ingredient I used since it is going bad, he got angry. He said I should have asked permission first before cooking his food. Our mom agreed with him. Am I the asshole? I just don't want to waste that bag of strawberries. Okay, first of all, I doubt your brother loves to let food rot. He probably has plans when he buys stuff like that, then gets busy or overwhelmed and forgets it's there, then feels guilty afterwards. You're acting like he's getting off on the idea of rotting food in the fridge. Secondly, if there were plenty of good ones in the fridge the day you made the cheesecake, and then he was home the next day, you had no reason to use them. Third, unless he was off the grid, you probably could have phoned him or texted him. So yeah, you are the asshole. You are the asshole because you should have gotten permission. If he was gone for a month, then I would say not the asshole. But you were able to use quite a lot of good strawberries, and the very next day, your brother noticed they were gone, so they would still have been good for him to eat. Also, no one likes fresh strawberry. What the what? Esh. I understand that you didn't want them to go to waste and that you had a use for them. Next time let him know that they would have to be thrown out soon, but you could make something with the remainder before they went bad. If he wasn't happy with that arrangement, then not much you could do about it. But if he was okay with it, he can't exactly complain afterwards that you used his strawberries. Sorry y'all, but not the asshole. Come on. Op didn't say the brother literally loves wasting food. Learn how to read. Also, if he lives there, he can't exactly just buy food whenever, leave it to rot, and let it use up space, as the bacteria could spread to the rest of the fridge anyway.
Everyone sucks here. Your brother shouldn't waste food, but you should have asked first.
At the end of the day, you didn't pay for it.
It wasn't yours.
I'd never turn my nose up at using my strawberries for cheesecake.
I see both sides and going with nah.
Now, op.
Here's a household hint. When the strawberries come home, give them a quick wash in cold water with a splash of vinegar and then dry them off. The vinegar will help kill the bacteria that causes them to go bad so quickly.
They will last a whole lot longer.
Next time shoot your brother a text before you use them, though.